Welcome back to the channel. Today I want to look at a segment of the body that is often very much overlooked. I find that the movement of the shoulders or the rib cage are often referenced instead of today's segment, the neck. And the reason I say that is because in the swing, obviously we're trying to keep the head relatively stable so we can achieve a visual, while the rib cage, everything is rotating from the neck down. So when you think of rotation in the golf swing, a lot of it's coming from the neck, and I've got a simple exercise to help you today to make sure that you're moving well at that segment. Thanks for joining me again. So in the intro there, I actually provided a little bit more value to the video than I usually do. In the most of the rotation in the golf swing is coming right at the neck, but we don't really focus on one, just positional wise, making sure our posture through the neck is good, and then two, being aware of what would good rotation feel like, or what could it feel like for a player. So I'm going to provide a couple of different areas of feedback points here that you could go and use. And first of all, from a posture standpoint, there is no specific posture that I could say is good for all players. The most general sense that I could kind of give to you, you'd have to explore it through working with, I would say, someone more professional than a golf coach usually, someone that's more specifically tied into the neck in an anatomical level, maybe a doctor, physician, and so on and so forth. However, for a lot of players, typically what I would suggest is if we have that long spine feel from tailbone through to the top of the neck, it encourages more length through the back of the neck. Now, depending where you're at in life, that length for most players I would say is good. For some players it may not be. So it depends on just where you're at and how you're, just where you're at, just anatomically around your neck there. But I would say, generally speaking, for most golfers, feeling as though you've got that long spine and a lot of length through the back of the neck there, while the rib cage is sat in a nice position. If we can get that length, so I'll show you down the line here. For me, I typically have to tuck my chin a little bit, because you may see my chin kind of pokes forward there, that I lose the length from the base of the neck through to, let's just say, more the top of my head there. Okay, so generally speaking, we want length through the back of the neck, and once we have that length, it makes sense then the spine being longer is going to rotate a little bit more easier. So all I want you to do is to build some awareness of how the neck could move. I think it's worth playing around with. If you were to take, let's just say, your middle two fingers and just put it on your suprasternal notch here, which is like the little hollow area just at the top of your rib cage there in the center at the base of your neck. So if you were to put your middle fingers in there and then just rotate, almost imagine the ball's at 12 o'clock, just rotate that to maybe 1 o'clock, which would be somewhere lined up with just in front of my trail foot there, and then just continue to rotate around the clock, just getting a feeling for how it would feel to rotate really cleanly around your neck. Lots of players I find have a tendency where it wouldn't actually move in a nice little rotated path there. So again, when it comes to the neck, I just feel like I have to reiterate this a lot, having spent so much time with doctors, is that may not apply for everyone. And the reason I'm saying that is because if it isn't a match for you, it could lead to potential injury, and that's why I 3D players, I get them screened. So I'm trying my best here to cater to as many people as possible and give you some stuff to explore. But I find, for the majority of players, if you move well through your neck there, and the neck, just to keep in mind, is very much influenced by how the club, the hand, the arm are moved in that initial start of the backswing. But if we can be just more aware of the movement there, you may find out like, oh, I don't quite do that. Let's see how that feels. Let's see if that is helpful for me in the start of my swing. Because if you move well through the neck, we're looking for that rotation segment by segment, vertebrae by vertebrae, working down through the spine, down through the rib cage there. If you move well through here, it sets off the chance of a nice movement through the system. So a couple of pieces to explore there. If you have any questions on this, or if you have any questions as who you may want to kind of explore further with from a, say, anatomical level, I have the doctors at Vault that I work with on a regular basis. I'm sure one of them can jump on the call, do something online, or set something up in person with you.